What's going on, guys? Welcome back to RC Shenanigans. Today we have the INNOVATIONS Twin Otter. This airplane has been around just for a little bit. However, it has been out for kind of a while at the same time. Been wanting to get one for a bit. Finally got my hands on one. Super excited to fly it for you guys. We got everything going on in this review, including the building setup and a few separate flights and some stuff you need to know about this airplane. But overall, that's basically it on the intro. Let's go ahead and get into the unboxing and build. I wanted to show you guys the size of this vertical stabilizer. It is huge. This thing is massive. It has an enormous rudder on it, huge control surfaces on all of this airplane, just because, again, it is a 3D airplane. And yeah, you guys can just see how huge it is. It's the size of my chest. But yeah, they are using plastic hinges on this airplane, and they did do 2 here just because of this larger foam piece up here, which could cause more structural wear on this part here. So they doubled up on those hinges, which is super nice, and Flex did a great job of doing that. They do a really good job of making sure they get all of the small parts on their airplanes locked down. And this little wire right here, they did the same thing with that. That is for tail strikes on landing and takeoffs to prevent your foam from being hit on wherever you're landing, which again will make your airplanes last longer. And it's just another nice feature that they added on this airplane, which I will get into a few more probably when it comes to the flight portion of this video. I'll show you guys all that. All right, guys, this is everything out of the box. You have your 2 main wings, your 2 horizontal stabilizers, your vertical stabilizer, your fuselage, the nose of your fuselage, which that went somewhere, that's right here. Put that right there. The nose of your fuselage, and you will have to assemble your motors and put them on the wings, as you will have to screw them in and put on your motor mounts and all that. And I did get the newer version with the dual sky motors. Super excited. I wanted to make sure when I got it with this, as I knew they were coming out with some dual sky motors in the Twin Otter. So I was like, I was gonna wait to get it until it had those in there. So I got it. Super happy that I waited, and I'm super excited to see the amount of power that those 2 things will come out with. So let's go ahead and get into the actual build of this airplane. In the manual, the first thing you need to do is you put on your main landing gear, which is just this right here. You unscrew these screws, slide in your landing gear, then just screw that plate back on, and then it should be secured. I'll go ahead and cut back to you guys when I get that. All right, guys, there you go. Your full landing gear assembly, well, your main gear landing gear assembly is fully done. These parts, they just glue on, and then just 2 collars. They just kind of go in, screw them, they hold on these 2 big wheels here. Pretty simple. I have seen the front assembly before. I'm not exactly sure how it goes. It kind of might be a little bit weird, but I know you have to glue on this like assembly. I'll show you guys what it is. It's this thing right here. You have to glue this thing on there, and I'm kind of worried about how that will work, but I know we'll end up getting it working at the end of the day. So I'll just go ahead and cut to when I have that thing all done. All right, guys, so this is that full assembly here. Basically the hard part done. The instructions don't do a very crazy good job explaining it, just because there aren't pictures, and that's what I'm used to going off of. And this airplane's pretty new, so they don't really have any build videos on it, and there aren't a lot of other people that have this airplane or have made YouTube videos on it, so it's kind of hard to do a little research. So I'm just trying to give you guys everything that I was looking for and that I couldn't find in all those other videos. So this piece just slides in, this metal wire slides up through the little slots there, and then there are 2 collars, one right there, and then another one below there where it slides through. You put it in between those 2 things right there, and then you just screw it in, and it holds this in. And then this will already have that arm on there, that control arm. You just slide it on top of the end of this metal wire, and then that little screw right there screws in, and then it holds the whole thing together. And then there is your full nose steering assembly. Super simple, but just took a little bit of kind of figuring out what exactly it is, and I'm making sure I'm doing it right. But yeah, that's the only issue that I had with this. Just have to plug in the nose here with the lights, which you guys will see right there. Plug that in, into this guy and plug this into that servo, and then we can screw on this nose here and then put on that wheel. All right, guys, this is what the fuselage looks like with all of the landing gear on it. Looks super nice. The next part in the build is to put on that tail. Just got to glue it on with one of those carbon fiber rods. They say to use 30-minute epoxy. I'm just going to be using some old Freewing glue that I have. That stuff always works amazing, and I've never had any issues with that stuff. So I'm just going to put it all over inside there and just glue that on, and it should work nice. But however, if you do have the night version, you will have to plug in the lights, which I don't know where they are, but I'll have to find them. Got the one on this side. I need to see if I can find or fish out wherever the wire is in there. I think I see it. Then I'll just go ahead and glue this guy on, and then put on the horizontal stabilizer. All right, here it is with that tail on. The next step in the manual is to go ahead and put the vertical stabilizers on, and I'm pretty sure those are screwed on, but yeah, let's go ahead and get into that. All right, guys, now we got that all done. Our horizontal stabilizers, just screwed them in, and then always make sure you plug in your wires before you put any of that stuff on, because I need those wires for those things right there. That will shine onto the vertical stabilizer, which is something that Flex does, which is kind of unique. Instead of having lights put through that entire thing, they just put a really bright light and then they shine it on the entire thing, so you really get to see the tail of the airplane, which if you guys ever do see, which I might put a clip in right now. But you can see how the tail doesn't really show that well, and it's just like 1 or 2 streaks. You can only really see the LEDs. But this airplane is absolutely amazing. I think the next thing we need to do is screw on our motor mounts, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Gotta unpackage these dual sky motors here and put them on the wings, and then put the cowling over, props and all that stuff. But I'll show you guys through everything and all the steps of through one of the motors, and then I'll just cut to when I have the other motor done. All right, guys, so now that we have this back plate screwed on here, it is inside of the box that it comes with. You just screw it on with the 4 included screws. This pointed part here, which you might think would be for the prop, this part actually goes into this hole right here, and it screws in with 4 screws that I will have to find somewhere in all of the screws that I have for this thing, because I accidentally dropped them all, and I have to find which one fits in there. But you guys will probably be able to find the ones pretty easily. But I'm not gonna put on the cowling or any of that yet. I want to make sure the motors are spinning right, so I just have these guys plugged in randomly. I don't have a specific way I did plug it in. So yeah, probably just gonna screw it on and then put on the wings and check all the control surfaces. And after that, then I'll put in the control arms and all of that stuff on the control surfaces. So then that way I know the servos are centered, and then yeah, go ahead and do that. But I think the next shot will be of this entire airplane put together. Check. Taking off. That's funny to me. What? guys can go up. Just fun to mess. Setting up your Twin Otter is super easy. All you need to do is you just need to buy the recommended satellite that they say to buy on the website, which is this guy, because it has this connector here that goes into basically a servo port from the Spectrum satellite. All you need to do is you plug in your battery, you press this, and you just bind it to your remote, and all of your rates will be preset. And that is a very unique thing about this Aura, and you guys can do some research on that. It's super cool. But yeah,